Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, aka the Bod Father, and as always, I bring you guys awesome interviews. And today it is an honor and privilege to have Mr. Jason Meudt. He is the drummer of Emperors and Elephants on the show. They're basically out of Chicago, Illinois, and they have a new album that we're getting ready to come out here March 17th called Moth. This is a really kick-ass album. I got to listen to it already, and it's really damn good. So, Jason, how's it going, my man?
Hi, John. It's good to talk to you. Thanks for having me on, man. And that's awesome that you heard the album and dig it, man. That means a lot to me.
Hidden, I think, man, that's a badass track from you guys.
Sweet. Yeah, that's track number one, man.
Yep.
We come off with a bang with that one, man. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it leads right into everything else, and it fits so perfect the way it kicks off like that, man.
Sweet. Good. That's because I haven't heard any feedback yet, really, because it's not out yet. So that's the first time I got to hear feedback. So that means a lot. That's awesome.
Another thing about this album is it's got its peaks and its valleys. It takes you on a little trip, as I call it. It's diverse. It's cool. It's just a damn good album. Period, man.
Great. Yeah. Thanks, Sam. Yeah, we put a lot of work into this album, and yeah, it's funny because how you're saying the peaks and valleys. Because we'll go to a heavy one, and then you'll jump down to a slower one, or I don't know if the song Chicago. That's like totally out of our element, but the feedback on that song is great, and the way that it was written with Jesse and Jeff. I mean, the vocals and guitar are so strong on there, and it's definitely something that we've never did before. But I'm glad we took the chance, put it on there, and it kicks ass.
I want to touch on this a little bit, like I said previously, because I want to bring a lot on Jeff because he was a huge part of this band. You guys took some time off due to his passing while you guys were on tour. This happened back in 2016. Would you say this album is your guys' tribute and healing album to Jeff, or is this everything to let your frustrations out about Jeff's passing, man?
Well, the thing with this album is everything was recorded. The artwork was already approved. Everything, Jeff's seen everything pretty much on this album other than it getting mastered, which, we did finally get it done. But so it was an approval from him. And yes, it is a total tribute to Jeff, because, I mean, that guitar playing on there, it's some of his finest work. And the way he structured these songs, that's the only way we, Jesse, Ron, and I would be happy is if we would put this album out. And I actually spoke with, after the passing, Jeff's wife, and she says, you better put it out because Jeff would be so pissed at you if you did not put this amazing album out. So
sure.
So yeah, we got, we feel good about it. I feel really good that it's finally coming up to the date of release where everybody can hear it and really hear, a different side of Jeff's guitar playing and just a different side of us all in general playing. Because, I mean, Jesse really took this album to the next level with his singing, and you'll really notice that. And a big thing was because we got to work with the producer Scott Wilson. He's a bass player, Tantric, and we went out to Colorado to record this album, and he busted our ass. But man, the way he turned some of these songs around, and him working with Jesse and with some of the vocal stuff, it was just like, holy shit. I always knew Jesse was an amazing singer, but you stand back and listen to it, you're like, wow, this is a powerful album.
That was another question of mine. Like, how hard did he push you guys? Did he just kind of let you guys do your own thing and finally say, hey, look, no, you could do better, or just step in and try to kick your ass on this and push you harder?
Well, yeah, it's I know for a fact I've seen him really work hard with Jeff on some of these guitar parts where I just remember Jeff just sitting in the corner of the studio, just Indian style with his, sitting with his guitar, and just, the room's dark and all, he's just sitting there just going over and over these parts. Him and Scott are just, just sitting there working at it. So, just track after track. And with Jesse, he definitely, I mean, it was funny because he had Jesse singing some parts, and we're all looking at each other going, what the hell are you going to do with this, little ooh thing that you're doing in there? And, and we're scratching our head, but then when we started getting the tracks back, we're like, oh, all right, now I get it. I totally get it. And yeah, it just he worked. I know he worked Jesse and Jeff really hard on it, and it really showed. It was definitely an experience.
Any songs off this album that stand out to you more than any, if possible, man?
It's funny because I'm just looking at the set list right now here. The song list, and every song there, I got there's so much, a little bit of means so much to me. Each little, if it's just a part of a song or the way we wrote it or when we're in the studio with it. But like probably my favorite on the album, and I think I probably just love to play it the most, is it's track 5. It's Poison, and it's an earlier song that Jeff and I had years ago from a previous band, and then we brought it to the table and we gave it to Jesse without the previous vocals or anything, and he brought that song back to life. I mean, the chorus, I get the hairs on my arms stand up when he sings that chorus, and like I said, it's just such a fun song to play. And like another song that really stands out, I mean, like I said, everything stand out, but like Cracks in the Wall, that was a very cool one. Some very cool piano on there. It's a little dark, but once again, just when you listen to it, it's just such a full, big song. And I love the hell out of it.
What do you think Jeff would say about this album, man, if he got to sit down and listen to this from you guys?
It was funny because the first time that all of us were together listening to it as a band finished, I think we were playing a show up in Wisconsin. I remember Tim King from our record label came with us. He's also bass player Soil.
Right. I know Tim.
He wanted to come out to a show with us, and we're driving up there, and we put the CD in. Just all of us just were like, man, I forgot how good that was. That's such a good song. So it was really good to hear, Jeff's reaction on the album.
Yeah.
He was really proud of everything, from song 1 to song 12.
I want to go back just a little bit further. Maybe this is in 2016, maybe not 2015, maybe 2014, if I read it correctly. But my dates in years get all screwed up. But anyway,
sure.
how pivotal was it that 95.1 WIIL started playing your song "Rock Who You Are"? How pivotal was that in the formation, I guess, of getting your music out there more for Emperors and Elephants, man?
Yeah, I think that was the first time that we were from Devil in the Lake, Who You Are. I think that was our first single on the album, and that was the first time it really got radio play, and especially in a market like that. That's a big market radio station there. And it was pretty cool. Like I don't know if it was Ron or Jesse like texted me going, dude, we're on the radio right now, and so trying to tune it in, and it was definitely a cool feel. And then they even brought us in the studio there around the time when Devil in the Lake came out, and we did a couple acoustic songs live for them. So that was a cool thing, And we've done a ton since, but that being like the first place that we've gone to, it was pretty exciting feeling, getting that and getting the respect.
What helps you keep your mind fresh and open to new drum beats, things like that, man? What helps you say, okay, I'm just going to channel this, or what helps you go with the flow, dude?
And, it was, obviously in the past, it was something where when I first started with Jeffy years ago, previous to this band, we would just sit down and just jam for hours and hours and hours, just the two of us. And so that was, it was such a positive thing. And I felt, so much off of that. But, obviously now things changed and everything. And now that we're, with Anthony, who's our guitar player now, Anthony Modica, it's a whole new feeling, when the four of us get in that room together. It's exciting. It's different. But the first time that we sat with Anthony and practiced, Jesse and I just looked at each other, and we we had this look at each other like, oh my God, it's like this, it feels right. It's different, but it feels right. It feels good. And, because we didn't know what we were going to do. We were just going to go over there and just jam, even if we just sat around, did cover songs or just messed around, whatever. we weren't too sure what we were going to do. But that first practice, I think we sat down there for like an hour and a half doing every song Anthony learned, all this new material. And the thing is a lot of people don't know, and we want people to know, is that, we were pretty strong at staying a four-piece band. And Jeff, was never, he knew he can take on doing all the guitar parts, but he did always say, he goes, if there's one person I'd like to, get in this band, it would be Anthony, and because Anthony came up on stage with us a couple of years back, and we invited him up to come do a song with us, which was Who You Are. And I think we ended up doing another song too. And him and Jeff I just saw a post on Facebook. Someone posted there's video of Anthony being on stage with us, and just him and Jeff jamming together it's pretty cool. It was very, very cool. And that was definitely a magical night for us all for doing that. And then after, I found out later that Anthony and Jeff kept in touch, and, they would do their geeky guitar talk, emailing back and forth, so, and I didn't know about this stuff, and then Jesse didn't know, and Ron didn't know. And then, so it just kind of all fell into place, we were all kind of ready to kind of just like, hey, let's just put the album out and kind of call it a day, maybe do a one jam or something like that, get some friends to sit in on guitar or whatever, and just do kind of a tribute to Jeff. But it's kind of building its own, its own machine here now. People are really responding to everything, and we're like, well, none of us really wanted to go and do anything else with any other bands, and we love this album. It's got to have life to it. So it's with the four of us now sitting down there, there's always so much respect, for Jeff and everything he did. And it's one thing we'll say is Jeff's never replaced. He's never going to be replaced. Sure. It's just, Anthony's just pounding away, it's all out of respect, and love.
Well, sure. I mean, he's never going to be replaced. He's with you guys all the time. Even no matter what song you guys are doing, he's still part of the band regardless.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. I don't think 5 minutes goes by a day. Every 5 minutes I'm thinking about him, and I'm like, man, I got a question. I'm like, Jeff would have answered that. He was always my go-to guy. We always went off each other, and we'd text every day and email each other and call each other every day. And, and just, not always all band stuff, we've known each other so long that, we would talk about whatever, anything outside of the band too, and to have that not there anymore, it's still very difficult. We still sit there and we talk, at practice. We spend a while talking about him and make jokes, and jokes that he made. And, we get to laugh about it now a little bit with some stuff that we've done in the past, but there's still the pain there. But, like sure. I said, we're all being just positive about this.
What do you hope the fans take away from this new album once they start to listen to it and digest it, man? What do you hope they get from it?
Well, I'm so curious to hear what the honest feedback is, because it is a next level for us in music, and I want to hear what they have to say about what we're bringing to the game now, as opposed, from the first album. Right. It's a little bit of a change on there, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be good response. I've been getting good response. We had, Porcelain Kisses out there right now, our single, and we got the video out there, and I haven't seen any negative, anything bad about it, any comments other than just positive, and people are just loving the song and loving the video. So I'm feeling pretty good about all that.
What can fans expect at a show from Emperors and Elephants once they come to see you guys live? What are they going to get, man? Well,
we're going to bust ass. That's one thing from the first note to the last note. If anyone that's seen us before, you've seen how we brought it, and we're still doing the same thing. We can't slow down like that. We're just, when we get out there, and if we start playing for a while, we just become this well-oiled machine. And, it's like I said, it's just adrenaline for, 45 minutes, an hour, whatever our set is, and we just love doing it. And so, yeah, expect a lot. We'll bring it.
Jason, do you prefer the digital era that we're in right now of getting albums out quicker, putting digipacks out, things like that. Do you like this era that we're in right now, or do you prefer to be in the old school studios the way it used to be?
Yeah, it's obviously, man, it's so different now, and I don't have to, everybody knows, how quick you can get a song now and everything. I personally, when people send me a song or a video for me to check out, I want to listen to the whole thing. I want to check out the whole video, because it's, we're in that age where it's like, if you're not catching them in the first 30 seconds, they're switching on to the next thing, and I'm sure that's what some people have done, with our stuff, it's like, okay, next, but, and also it's that, because that was a thing too, with putting this album out. It's like we were thinking like, well, do we just do it digitally, release? And we all decided, like, no, you know what? Let's make it, authentic here. Let's make the hard copy. Let's put a little tribute to Jeff in there. Let's get it where people can open up the wrapper, and look inside there and see the pictures and see the song titles and all that. So. It's difficult. Obviously, I do miss how it was before, just being that kid opening up, remember sitting there with the Pink Floyd The Wall album, on vinyl. And I remember opening it up and just putting the album out and just staring at every little piece of artwork in there,
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And plus buying an album just by the cover art.
Yeah, you know what, dude? I totally used to do that, man. I remember I was younger and like Iron Maiden. It was Number of the Beast. And I just remember that album cover, how badass it was, and I'm like, what is this? It's so evil. Are they in hell? All this craziness.
Yeah.
And I loved it, and then I bought it, and I'm like, oh my God, this is freaking great.
Didn't you find out their mascot's named Eddie, and it's like, really? That's freaking awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. So I've been for that diehard fan forever. And what's cool also is seeing coming back, obviously like the vinyl's coming back, and Jesse, my singer, he's really big into, he's got the record player and everything, and he's just got unlimited, he's always showing me new albums he gets. And when we used to tour a lot, he used to go run down to the record stores and try finding something cool, something different, and I always appreciate that, because he's younger and he wasn't around like when the vinyl, that's all we had, know.
And 8 tracks, yeah.
The 8 track, oh God, yeah. I'm not gonna age myself that much there, but yeah, the vinyls, man, that was so cool, and it's so cool to see it come back, and it's cool seeing him get excited about something like that. He'll be like, "Oh, dude, I just got Pearl Jam on vinyl." I'm like, "Fuck, I didn't know that they put them on vinyl. That's awesome."
There's a lot of bands that's doing it right now.
Yeah, I think that's the new thing, and I thought it personally. I mean, I was proven wrong. I think I am, but I remember when I saw it coming back, I'm like, this isn't going to stick. Nobody's going to get it. They're going to want to download, anything. But it's like, man, every time, when we're out on tour, or if I go to a club, there's usually, a band that's at their merch table. They're selling vinyls. I'm like, way to go, man. That's badass. I mean, didn't Metallica? I think they just bought like one of those old vinyl presses in Europe or something like that. So those guys are sitting there pressing different colors and different artwork and all that stuff. I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's very cool stuff. Yeah.
In your own opinion, man, what does Emperors and Elephants bring to the table for music that's not out there as of right now?
I think we're bringing something. We're a little different, but obviously there's some tracks in there where you can, you'll get hinted on, like, oh, okay, I can see this band being their influence here. But man, there's some stuff on there where, I mean, this album's got some legs. I mean, I know we just got Porcelain Kiss coming out as our first single, but man, I mean, there's so many singles I want to put from this album. I'm so proud of it. And like I was saying earlier, when Scott Wilson was producing it for us, I mean, like he really he brought it to that next level. So yeah, that's why we're just super excited about it. So I think it'll make a little bit of noise. Maybe we could put a little niche, a little dent in little rock and roll history here or something like that.
Yeah,
hopefully
I think
it'll keep going for a while.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, honestly, I think any of these songs that's on this album could have been a single easily. Easily.
Oh, sweet, dude. That's awesome to hear. That that just made my day, man.
What made you
Very
want?
cool.
What made you want to become a musician? What was that spark for you that said that's what I want to do right there?
I always loved music. I mean, since as early as I can remember, I used to play saxophone when I was little and everything, and I learned music, reading notes and whatnot. But then Kiss, Creatures of the Night, I Love It Loud, Eric Carr double bass, that silver freaking kit, man,
God, yeah.
and that bass from that boom boom pa.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Who didn't want to play drums after that? So that kind of kicked it off for me right there, man. And then obviously just endless amounts of drummers that I just started watching and just appreciating. And still to this day, I still sit there. I love standing on the side of the stage and just watching some of these drummers just freaking destroy.
Is there any show or moment that stands out to you more than any being part of Emperors and Elephants, man? Regardless if it's going back to when you guys first started, or if it's just, a huge national band that started, whatever. Is there anyone that sticks out possibly?
A big, like, kind of talked a little bit about it, but like a show that I think about and I remember, was when, like I was saying earlier, when we brought Anthony up on stage and I saw, I see the video of that and I see, Jeff and Anthony just jamming. We were all just kicking ass that night. I just, that show meant a lot to me that he got to come up and do that and see how things came full circle. But I mean, come on, but there's, a couple summers ago, we got to open for Judas Priest on the same stage. I was like, that's badass, It's kind of a cool thing, to be a part of, but then, there's some times that we would be on tour, be somewhere like, I don't know, like Lubbock, Texas, at a small club, and, there's, maybe 30, 40 people there and on a Tuesday night, and we just come off stage going, that just kicked ass, man. We just freaking destroyed, so yeah, there's a few that stand out, but yeah, there's those little ones too, when it's just, there's nobody in the room or anything like that, or you're playing to the bartender, but it's like, screw it. Let's just bring it.
Yeah. It seems like the smaller venues, man, are the ones that kick ass more than these big national tours. I mean, seriously.
Oh yeah. No, I enjoy, I love getting in the club there, and, if you get a sound check, it loosens you up. I like doing that. And, there was one other, Joplin, Missouri. We got asked, I don't know if it was a last minute kind of thing, and we got asked to open for Saliva, and
Nice.
pretty sure it was a sold out show, but man, we've never been there before. We drove, I don't know how many hours to get there. We're tired off our ass. The band, I don't know if there was an opening band. They didn't show or something, or came late. So they gave us an hour. So it was just us and Saliva. So we got an hour set. And I seen a video of that somewhere, but I just remember that night, there's something magic, man. That was such a good freaking night. And I just remember we sold so much merch. And it's like, we've never been here before. These people have not a clue who we are. And then we just kicked ass, and we just, and we've been asked back. I want to get back. I think we did go back there one other time. But yeah, that was a really, really fun time, man.
What's it mean to you when you guys receive an email from a fan, or prior to your shows or after your shows, they come out and tell you guys, hey, look, your music has pulled us through a bad experience, or it's gave me inspiration to overcome obstacles, or it's just made me, relax to the everyday bullshit that we go through as humans, just to relax for a little while. What's that mean to you, man?
Dude, that to me, that's probably one of the biggest freaking coolest things that can possibly happen to you. And, like after a show, we're right at the merch table talking, meeting with anybody, hanging out with them. And when we hear these stories, Jesse's probably got a million more than me, but when these people, when our friends and fans, they come up and tell us, there's one particular guy who's a very good friend of ours now, that he was inspired by us, and he was in a dark place, and now we all stay in, we hang out with him. Anytime he comes to our shows, we go hang out with him. Very, very big part of now why we put out Moth, the album. He's been very supportive. And then another cool thing is, man, when you see a fan's come up with tattoos of the album cover or lyrics that Jesse wrote, and they tell us like this, I was at a dark place and your lyrics, I really, they changed me, and then that, dude, that's just the coolest thing ever. I didn't think when we started this band, I figured, all right, we're going to just be in a garage and, maybe we'll play out once in a while. And then to get, emails like you're saying, or being somewhere way down in a state far away and having somebody coming up and just telling their story. And we just listen, and I'll take that all day.
Moth has got me into you guys a lot. I truly, truly like this album a lot, man. So thanks for turning me on as a fan for sure.
Oh, dude, so happy that you like that, man. That means a lot to me. It really, really does. I'm glad to be a part of your podcast here and helping out.
How can folks stay in touch with you guys, Jason? How can they buy some merchandise, tour dates, things like that? How can they keep in touch, man?
Well, right now, obviously, biggest social media, Facebook is the biggest way just to, look Emperors and Elephants up on Facebook. Unfortunately, right now, our website, I don't really talk about it too much, but Jeff, had so much to do with the band where the website was in his name there. I don't know how to get in there. All I wanted to do is somehow get in there and just put a memorial thing for him in there. And I don't know how to do that, but, that's why it's like, yeah, Facebook's the number one thing. If you hit me up personally, I'll get back to you, and if you message on, the Emperor's Facebook, I check that out. So I do my best to hit back and do whatever I can to help. And then right now you can go, you can pre-order the album, and it's like a little bundle package. We throw some extra stuff in there, and all the CDs are signed. But other than that, I mean, I'll get it out there where people can buy it online, and obviously iTunes and Amazon and stuff like that. But I do get back. I do respond. It might take a couple days, but I do get back to you.
Hey, before I let you go, good sir, you care to do a promo for my show?
Absolutely. Hey, this is Jason Meudt, the drummer of Emperors and Elephants, and you are listening to BODS Mayhem Hour. Check it out, man. This guy kicks ass. Great show.
Everybody stick around. We got some great music coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and Uber City Radio. Moth is out March 17th, folks. Go pick this album up. You will not be disappointed. Thanks, Jason, and best of luck to you guys, brother.
Thanks, John, man. I really appreciate it, man.